you ever wish that your piano playing would sound more magical, this is the perfect video for you. It's all about patterns. Today I'm going to teach you 4 really easy, beautiful right hand patterns that are going to transform your playing. My name's Rebecca, and I help adult learners and returning piano players to learn how to play beautiful music every single time you sit down at the piano, even without piano music. Yes, it is possible, and I'm here to help you do that. Make sure you stay with me to the end of the video, because I'm going to show you how these 4 easy piano patterns fit together to make beautiful improvisation. It's always important to start with a scale, and the scale today is one of the easiest on the piano, and that's because it's all white keys. So today we're doing the key of A minor, which goes between A and hits all of the white keys in between. So that's our scale. But here's the thing, we're not going to be playing all of the notes of the scale today. I'm going to move down to here between this one, and we're going to forget 2 of the notes today. So the 2 notes that we're going to not play at all are an F and a B. And here's why. Because when we play the other 5 notes of the scale, it is called the pentatonic scale, and it sounds great. No matter which note of the pentatonic scale that you play, it's going to sound fantastic. So instead of playing all of the notes between A and A, today our right hand is only going to use 5 notes. So we're going to have the A, skip the B, and we're going to have the C, D, and E, then skip the F, and then hit the G, and then there's our A again. So I want you to just practice those notes only. So the cool thing is that you already have the right hand memorized. Now what we have to do is we have to put them in different orders so that you can practice your left hand and your right hand. In order to make this sound really cool, we should do a chord progression in the left hand. So I'm going to start by doing an octave, which is just 2 notes. And we're going to start with our A minor because that's the key that we're in, right? So we start here, and I want you to play the A minor, and then we're going to go to the F chord, which is right here. So you're going to go down to the F chord. So if we counted in the scale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, this would be a 1 chord. So that's our first note of the scale, and then a 6 chord. And then we only have one more to remember, and that is the C chord. So if we start on A and we go up to C, we go 1, 2, 3. That's our 3 chord. So today all we're doing is the 1 chord, the 6 chord, and the 3 chord. And then we're going to end back on our A. So the cool thing is that you can do any kind of pattern in your left hand that you want. But for today, we're just going to do an octave to represent each one of those chords. So now we understand basically what our left hand and our right hand is going to do. But now we're going to give you some patterns in your right hand so that you don't have to guess. Our first pattern that we're doing in our right hand, I like to call the rolling triplets. So if you think of the pentatonic scale in order from A, C, D, E, and G, and A, that's the order, right? If we do just 3 notes at a time and start at the bottom, this becomes the rolling triplets. So first we have our first 3 notes of the pentatonic scale, A, C, and D. And I want you to just feel that in your right hand. That's our first little set of 3. Our second set of 3 is going to go on the second note of the pentatonic scale. So let's go to the C. So this time it's easy because we have C, D, and E. And that's our next little pattern. Okay, and then our next one begins with a D. So now we're going from D to E to G. And then our next one starts with an E, and we do E, G, A. So let's try this with our pattern of going from A minor to F, and then to C, and then back to A minor. So we're going to start with our A minor and our first 3 notes over here, A, C, and D. Now move our chord so we go down to our F, and our thumb is going to move up to our next note. Now we're doing the C, D, and E. Now we're moving our chord on our left hand to the C, and we're moving up to D, E, and G. And now we're going back to our A minor here, A and A, and moving up to E, G, and A. See how that worked? Let's put this all together. Once you have that figured out where you do that one at a time, we can now switch it up. So you don't have to always go in order. You don't have to go from the A to the C and then do C. This time, I'm going to just pick in my right hand. I'm still going to keep the same order in my left hand. A, F, C, A. But in my right hand, I'm just going to pick which one of those three I do at a time. And let's hear what a different kind of a pattern could sound like. And then you could keep going as many times as you want to. So for any of these patterns, remember that they are meant to be looping. Chord progressions are looping. So you can just go for as long as you feel like playing at any given time. And it's going to sound wonderful as long as you begin and end on an A in your left hand. That'll kind of start the song and then complete the song. Our next pattern is great because now we're going to do the same exact pattern in our left hand. We don't have to learn anything new, but in our right hand, we have a new pattern. This is called the double A. And what we're doing is we're taking an A and we're holding it down and then playing another note. Because A with any of these notes in the pentatonic scale is going to sound fantastic. So listen to them all. Here's our A and our C. And here's A and D. Now A and E, A and G, and then of course our octave. So each of those sound wonderful. So the way that we're going to put this to work is we're going to start the same way where we have our A minor and we're going to hit it like this for 2 beats. And then on the second 2 beats of the measure, we're going to hit our next note. All right, so we're going 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we move our chord. So we go down to the F and we hit our A again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go to the C. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to the A minor. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'll just stay there on the A and do the octave. So it'll sound like this all together as we're practicing out this double A pattern. So now that you've practiced what that's going to sound like, we now get to do the same thing where we do the same pattern in our left hand, but with our right hand, we get to choose any of those as we go. So we always begin with the anchor of the A and then hit something else. So let's see how this could sound. And I'll do this pattern maybe 2 times this time. I just want to take a minute to say that I understand how it feels to sit down at the piano and realize, my piano playing just does not sound beautiful yet. It sounds clunky. Maybe my hands aren't working together. I've got you. Check out this video about having your hands work together. It's a really great one to give you some exercises if you're really struggling with coordination. If it's not that and you're like, oh, I just can't make it flow yet, there's lots of ways to work on that too. But check out this next pattern because this is an absolutely wonderful one for when you're struggling with flow. It may take a little bit of practice, but practice should be fun and not stressful. So if you find yourself in that point where you're stressing out too much, just take a breather, walk away, and come back fresh, and I'll be here for you. Now for this section, when we're talking about coordination, we're not going to worry about moving chords yet in the left hand. So in your left hand, what I want you to do is just practice a steady beat with your A and A. If you're having trouble figuring out what a steady beat is, you could try using the metronome. I have my metronome here set to 60 beats per minute. And this just means this is like a second hand of a clock. So every beat is a second. And I want you to first try just hitting on every single beat. Like that. Now, after you have done every single beat, we're going to do 2 beats. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2. And that's a way to help your inner beat. There are lots of free apps that you can use for your phone or your computer that are going to help you. But it's not absolutely necessary if you have a strong inner beat. So we're going to be doing these steady beats over here. And then in your right hand, we're going to just start with an A and use your thumb. I want you to hit an A every time you hit the chord in your left hand. And now start expanding to all of the notes of the pentatonic scale. So what you're practicing right now by doing this is quarter notes. This is 1 beat in the left hand and in the right hand. And now we're going to do still this continued steady beat over here. And this time we're going to do 2 beats for every one of these ones over here. This is still quarter notes in your left hand, and those were eighth notes, and there are 2 eighth notes for every quarter note. That's what you were practicing in your right hand. So now, as a third step, we're going to do quarter note and then 2 eighth notes. So once you figured that out, you can now switch it up. So now you can see any of those different notes in your right hand in any of the different rhythms. Now I'm going to start moving my chords in my left hand. Let's see if we can do this. This next pattern uses the same idea where we anchored our A and then anchored our A with other notes. This time we're going to anchor any note at all with any other note. And the beauty of the pentatonic scale is that any of the notes played together are going to sound wonderful. Just for an example, let's anchor our C and let's try that. Doesn't that sound great? All of them. Try your D. And now try your E, same thing. We're going to start with the A, even though we've done it already. And the next time we go up, we're going to then anchor our C and then D and so forth. Now, to give you an order, we're going to be hitting each one of these chords in the left hand 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then switching to our next chord, F, for all of them. Okay, and then in our right hand, we're going to start with our A, and we're using those eighth notes again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and at that point, then we're going to move up to our next note in our anchor, which is going to be our C. So we'll do 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then move to our next note in the anchor, and we're going to continue up that way. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then our last one, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. We're going to go kind of slowly at first. Let's hit 4 notes to begin. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Switch. So now you can take any note and anchor it with any other note, which is any note in the pentatonic scale, and it's going to sound great. Let's give this a try. So now that we've gotten the hang of it, let's switch chords. Now that we've done those 4 patterns, this is the bonus that I was talking about, where we're going to put it all together. So we are going to use our rolling triplets, and where you hold them down or you play them individually. And then we can use the doubling of the A. Or we can do any of the rhythms that we talked about, either quarter notes or eighth notes, and any combination of that, and then anchoring any note. Let's see if we can create a song with all 4 of these different patterns in it, using the different chords in our left hand. Now, instead of doing the quarter notes that we did in our last exercise, this time I'm going to do a combination of that. So sometimes I may do quarter notes like that. Sometimes I may just hold it down. Let's see what I'm feeling in the moment. It's the beauty of improvisation. It doesn't have to always sound the same. So how is your piano improvisation coming? I would love to know how this beautiful progression in the key of A minor is going for you. Let me know in the comments below. Also, if you know anybody else who would love to be inspired with easy piano chords and patterns, make sure to share this video with them. Also, like and subscribe to make sure that you don't miss any future videos. I look forward to seeing you in the next one, but until then, don't get frustrated. Keep practicing. You've got this.